Tomodachi Collection is a Japanese exclusive game? You might not even know anything about this game other than it's the predecessor to the much more commonly known Tomodachi Life. Yeah, we almost didn't even get this game, but somehow Nintendo caved into the demands. I guess if we beg enough, we'll get any Japanese exclusive game not intended for the US release. Development is pretty brief. This was one of Nintendo's crack experiments that they're usually known for. Yoshio Sakamoto would take on the role as the producer, who is best known for WarioWare and even a couple of the recent Metroid games. He sourced inspiration from another game called It was a Game Boy Color game in which you would fill out information about yourself and the titular hamster would predict your future, I guess. Sakamoto wanted to create a game similar to this, but one that adult women can play. The original title was Otona no Ona no Uranai Teicho, which translates to the Adult Women's Fortune-Telling Notebook. I guess the target demographic was a little too skewed towards ladies, so eventually the name was dropped and the game was reworked into Tomodachi Collection. Mii's would take the center stage in this game, however, due to a lack of a Mii creator on the OGDS, the game would have one of its own, which wasn't actually the first time it happened. The way the Miis would talk would be through a vocal synthesizer text-to-speech kind of deal. Due to the difficulty with the English being spoken, the idea of localization was scrapped. However, in 2013, a fan ROM was created by JJ Jewell. It's incomplete. Things like the news segments show this more than anything, and suffice to say, I don't really think it'll ever be completed. This is a small island in the middle of the sea. Really? I would like to present you this island, but the island doesn't have a name yet. Wait, who are you? Well, I have full sovereignty over the name of the island, so I'm gonna call it Luigi. Now then, please create yourself as a Mii to live on this island. Just gotta create my Mii, name myself, register my birthday, and blood type. How the fuck does this affect my social life? Here's my Mii. My personality says I'm full of motivation, which is definitely correct. Quite struggling behind the scenes. Hey, if the Sympathy police are watching this, I'll let you know that this is factual. So Trey over here moves into his brand new apartment and complains that nobody is with him, so I decided that his new neighbor was going to be none other than Barack Obama. When Tomodachi Life came out, a lot of people made the connection to Animal Crossing, which is only half true. In Animal Crossing, before New Horizons, villagers would move in and out on their own accord. However, in Tomodachi Collection, islanders can only be added or removed by your own will. Animal Crossing also sees town customization, especially in the latter two, but in Tomodachi Collection, there really is no such thing. There really isn't even much player input involved in this game at all, at least not a significant amount. Your islanders will frequently ask for your help on their predicaments, which could be anything from feeding them, playing a game with them, or scratching their back. Leveling up your Miis will allow you to give them numerous things, like a central catchphrase, new songs to sing, or even an item to use. Obama, you've been so kind to me this entire time. I think I should give you a fucking feather duster. He became best friends with the titular Friday Night Funkin' character, which sucks because Obama was literally the only person I knew for the longest time. Either it's my fault for being a dumb bitch, or it's society's fault. And I think the second one might be true. The more Miis you add, the more things can happen. I didn't really add anybody I knew personally, besides my brother. He's got the most badass shades the world has ever seen! Eventually, I unlocked the Compatibility Tester, where you can calculate your potential friendships or relationships with other Miis. Can't wait to see what I get with the later. Haha, it's just like real life. Well, that doesn't really matter, because me and Sonic somehow got a 100% friendship rating, and really, what more could I ask for after that? Your islanders will probably ask for new clothes over time, and I swear to God, Sonia over here asked for new clothes at least 3 times in the same day. I gave Dr. Eggman a sailor dress, and I think he liked it. I made sure not to stop adding Miis to the island. We have our main characters, Huel Babanu, Birdo, Donald Trump, a giraffe, J10Man, and Tifa Lockhart. Here are some Miis I made of an old toy brand I used to love as a kid. It's taken a less than desirable turn over the years, but at least I have the old memories to cherish. This is the only opportunity I get to talk about this, so I might as well take it. Hey, what's this? Bellsprout, you go for it! I actually don't have anything funny to say. I'm sorry, man. Eventually, Bellsprout went to bed and had this dream. It's an advanced form of symbolism. What's Zelda up to? A game? What the fuck? Oh, of course it's Zelda doing this one. The only other game that stood out to me that didn't return Tomodachi Life was this one. Wait, oh my god, is this a reference to the hit foreign production that everyone was talking about called As the Gods Will? You know, the one where a Daruma doll shows up in high school and turns people's heads into fucking marbles? There are numerous locations besides the good old apartments. The prizes you collect along the way can be sold at the pawn shop. Seeing as there really is no reason to keep any of them, you might as well just clear your inventory whenever you get the chance. Food, clothes, and interior shops are all pretty self-explanatory. Exclusive to this game is the job diagnosis, where you go in, select a me, and a random job will be selected for them. This has absolutely no effect on the game, and I think it's only here because of the fortune-telling inspiration of the game. Apparently, I don't know. Why is this here? Also, only seen in this game is the question hall. Ironically, the two things available here are present in Tomodachi Life. You can draw on the sand and take a poll, or you can ask a random selection of islanders a question. Well, let's just get the obvious one out of the way.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
Finally, the news station is where announcements are broadcasted or random goofy stories are told. Anyway, let's write some songs. You can only select preset words in order to make lyrics, which I would say is a bad thing, but it allowed me to get more creative with how I wanted the song to be interpreted. Eventually, an original character I created a long time ago joined the island, and he got together with Zelda. I swear to God, it took them only 2 days before they got married. After that, I had to sit through 2 minutes of unskippable credits, but it might as well have been 2 hours. At least the images of the two supplied me with a little bit of amusement. I'd love to see some of these become meme formats. Can somebody else please tell me what best job comment means? Eventually, I cured Bellsprout's depression and became friends with him, which is honestly wholesome.
So this game's pretty great, but I'm gonna be honest, it gets kind of boring after a week. Like, at that point, you feel like you've already seen everything, you've already done everything, there's really nothing else to do, and that's a huge flaw with this game. But I like a lot of what I do see. If expanded upon, I think that this game could be really, really great, which is what Tomodachi Life does. But that game gets boring after 2 weeks. But you know what both of those games do have? Replayability. You can always go back and count on these games to just give you a couple minutes of fun. And then you'll get really, really hooked on them, and then you'll forget about them in 2 weeks, and then you'll go a whole year without thinking about them, and then you'll get really hooked on them again, and rinse and repeat the same exact cycle. So, maybe the Nintendo Switch version will fix that. What do I think should be added to that game to make it better? Homosexuality. I could go on about the weird things I found in this game for a little longer, but at this point, I don't really think I need to anymore. It's a decent game that I think is worth trying out if you're even a little bit interested in. And like I said, it is pretty fun checking in on this little island every once in a while, seeing what new dramas arise or fulfilling menial tasks. Obviously, Tomodachi Life is the better game, but the writing, presentation, and simplicity of this one still makes it worthwhile. Not to mention this laid the groundwork for 70% of what that game had to offer. And I really hope that this series continues on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, if it could happen to me, it's not impossible. But now, I gotta go. I have a little bit of a relationship to attend to. It's Birdo and Donald Trump, for the record.